One destination is so disappointing that tourists literally develop a medical condition after visiting. Every year, 1.5 billion people cross international borders chasing a dream, the perfect vacation. But for millions of them, the reality looks nothing like the brochure. One destination on this list is so disappointing that tourists literally develop a psychological condition after visiting. Another charges you $29 to stare at a pile of rocks from 30 meters away. And the world's most famous boulevard? Locals call it the dirtiest street in America. These are the 10 most overrated tourist destinations on Earth, and the truth might save you thousands of dollars on your next trip. Number 10. Pisa, Italy. Every year, over 5 million tourists travel to this small Tuscan city for one reason and one reason only: to take the same photo everyone else has already taken, arms outstretched, pretending to hold up a leaning building. It takes about 15 minutes to get the shot, and then comes the strange realization: that's it. There's genuinely nothing else to do. TripAdvisor data shows the average visitor spends just 2.3 hours in Pisa before leaving. Compare that to nearby Florence, where the average stay is 3.2 days. The tower itself is impressive as engineering. It's been leaning since 1173, and stabilization efforts have kept it standing for nearly 9 centuries. But as a tourist experience, it's the equivalent of driving 3 hours to see a really tall building that's slightly crooked. The gift shops outnumber restaurants 4 to 1. The Piazza dei Miracoli is beautiful, but you can see all of it in 20 minutes. Pisa isn't a bad city. It's just a 15-minute city that millions of people plan entire days around. Number 9. Hollywood, California. In the movies, Hollywood is pure glamour. Red carpets, limousines, and movie stars on every corner. The reality? The Walk of Fame is a stretch of grimy sidewalk embedded with brass stars, many of which are cracked, stained, or covered in gum. A 2024 Reddit travel survey ranked Hollywood Boulevard as the single most disappointing street in America, with 73% of respondents calling it, quote, shockingly dirty. The people dressed as Spider-Man and Batman? They're aggressive about photo tips. The souvenir shops sell $5 Oscar statues made in China. There's a Hooters next to the Chinese theater where legends like Marilyn Monroe left their handprints. The Hollywood sign itself? You can barely see it from most vantage points, and the actual letters look much smaller than photographs suggest. The irony of Hollywood is perfect. The place that sells the world's most compelling illusions is itself the biggest illusion of all. Los Angeles has incredible food, art, and culture, but Hollywood Boulevard isn't where you'll find any of it. Number 8. Stonehenge, United Kingdom. Here's what nobody tells you before you visit Stonehenge. You can't touch the stones. You can't walk between them. You can't get anywhere near them. Since 1977, visitors have been kept behind a rope barrier roughly 30 meters from the monument. You pay £23, about $29, to walk in a circle around a roped-off pile of rocks in a windy English field. That's the experience. The visitor center is nearly 2 kilometers from the actual stones, connected by a shuttle bus. TripAdvisor reviews consistently mention 2 things. It's smaller than expected, and it takes about 45 minutes to see everything. Now, Stonehenge is genuinely one of the most mysterious structures on Earth. It's 5,000 years old, and we still don't fully understand how it was built or why. But as a tourist destination, the gap between what you imagine and what you get is enormous. If you want to actually touch ancient stones, go to Avebury. It's 30 minutes away, it's free, the stone circle is much larger, and you can walk right up to them. Almost nobody goes there. Number 7. Cancún, Mexico. Cancún's hotel zone is a 23-kilometer strip of identical all-inclusive resorts where you can eat unlimited nachos, drink unlimited margaritas, and never once experience anything remotely Mexican. That's the product, and millions of tourists love it. But here's the problem. The same tourists fly home and say they've been to Mexico. They haven't. Cancún's hotel zone is a hermetically sealed tourism bubble designed specifically to feel like a nicer version of Florida. The food is Tex-Mex with ocean views. The entertainment is hotel-organized karaoke. The culture is a poolside salsa lesson. Meanwhile, real Mexico, The Mexico of Oaxaca's Mole Negro, Mexico City's 700-year-old floating gardens, and Guanajuato's underground streets is right there. But 68% of Cancun visitors never leave the hotel zone, according to the Mexican Tourism Board. The beaches are genuinely stunning. White sand, turquoise water, the Caribbean at its best. But you don't need to fly to Mexico for a resort pool and a buffet. Cancun isn't overrated as a beach vacation. It's overrated as Mexico. Number 6. Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Dubai is the world's most expensive selfie opportunity. The Burj Khalifa observation deck costs $40. A meal at the underwater restaurant at Atlantis starts at $200 per person. A single night at the Burj Al Arab, the sailboat-shaped hotel you've seen in every Dubai montage, averages $2,000. And once you get past the spectacle of the architecture, there's a surprising hollowness underneath. Dubai has almost zero walkability. Temperatures regularly exceed 45 degrees Celsius or 113 Fahrenheit for 5 months of the year. Everything happens inside air-conditioned malls. The cultural attractions are limited. The Dubai Museum occupies a single small fort, and the Gold Souk is essentially a glorified jewelry store with aggressive salespeople. The city is 55 years old. It was literally desert in 1971. There's no ancient quarter, no historic neighborhood, no centuries of layered culture. What Dubai does well is luxury hospitality and modern architecture. But 40% of visitors surveyed by McKinsey said the experience felt artificial. And that's hard to argue with when your city's biggest attraction is a building. Number 5. Bali, Indonesia. In the early 2000s, Bali was a genuine paradise. Rice terraces, sacred temples, and some of the most spiritual energy on Earth. Then Instagram happened. Between 2010 and 2024, tourist arrivals to Bali tripled from 2.5 million to over 6 million annually. And the consequences are everywhere. Kuta Beach, once the backpacker mecca of Southeast Asia, is now lined with fast food chains, souvenir shops, and drunk tourists on scooters. Ubud's famous monkey forest has become a 2-hour queue. The Tagalalang rice terraces charge admission, have a chain cafe at the entrance, and are so crowded that getting a photo without 50 other tourists is nearly impossible. But the real damage is environmental. Bali generates 1.6 million tons of waste per year, and its infrastructure can't handle it. Rivers near tourist areas are visibly polluted. Traffic in Denpasar rivals Bangkok at rush hour. Here's the truth. Authentic Bali still exists. The North Coast, the West Mountains, the village ceremonies that haven't been turned into photo ops. But the Bali that Instagram sold you, the empty swing over a waterfall, the private infinity pool, that version is a carefully cropped illusion. Number 4. Niagara Falls, United States. Niagara Falls is one of the most powerful waterfalls on Earth. 3,160 tons of water crash over the edge every single second. The natural spectacle is genuinely breathtaking. The problem isn't the falls. It's everything around them. The American side of Niagara Falls is a case study in how tourism can destroy a destination. The town of Niagara Falls, New York, has a poverty rate of 30%. The main tourist strip, Clifton Hill, on the Canadian side, looks like a Las Vegas fever dream, complete with haunted houses, wax museums, and a Ripley's Believe It or Not. The American side is worse. Boarded-up buildings sit blocks from one of the world's natural wonders. The state park itself is fine, but the surrounding area feels more like economic despair than tourist destination. Here's the key insight. The Canadian side is significantly better. The Horseshoe Falls are the main attraction, and Canada has the superior viewing angle. But even there, the commercialization is overwhelming. The mist-soaked viewing platform is iconic. Everything else is a trap designed to separate you from your money. Number 3. Times Square, New York City. New Yorkers have an inside joke. The only people in Times Square are tourists and people who got lost. It's not really a joke. A 2023 survey by the Times Square Alliance found that only 4% of visitors were New York residents. Everyone else was from out of town. And every single New York travel guide, blog, and local recommendation says the same thing. Skip it. Times Square is 11 blocks of LED screens, chain restaurants, and $40 cheeseburgers. The Olive Garden in Times Square is one of the highest-grossing restaurants in America. Not because it's good, but because 330,000 people pass through the intersection every day, and some of them get hungry. The costumed characters who pose for photos have been involved in multiple assault incidents. The souvenir shop sell "I Love New York" t-shirts made in Bangladesh for $25 each. Meanwhile, 3 blocks east, you'll find the Morgan Library, one of the greatest private art collections in America, usually empty. 10 blocks south is the Flatiron District, with some of the best restaurants in the world. New York City is extraordinary. Times Square is its worst advertisement. Number 2. The Pyramids of Giza, Egypt. The Great Pyramid is the last surviving wonder of the ancient world. It was built 4,500 years ago with 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons. Nothing in human history comes close to its engineering ambition. And yet, tourist after tourist reports the same crushing disappointment. The first shock is the location. You probably imagine the pyramids rising from empty desert, miles from civilization. In reality, there's a Pizza Hut across the street. The sprawl of Cairo, a city of 22 million people, extends right up to the Giza Plateau. The air pollution is visible in every photo. The second shock is the harassment. Licensed and unlicensed vendors approach you constantly, offering camel rides, papyrus paintings, and quote authentic scarabs that were made in a factory last week. Saying no doesn't work. Walking away doesn't work. The interior of the Great Pyramid? A narrow, low-ceilinged tunnel that smells like centuries of sweat, with an empty stone chamber at the top. The pyramids are the most remarkable structures humans have ever built. But the experience of visiting them in 2026 is a masterclass in how poor tourism management can undermine even the greatest wonder on Earth. Number 1. Paris, France. Paris syndrome is real. It's a genuine psychological condition, first documented in 1986 by Japanese psychiatrist Hiroaki Oda. Every year, approximately 20 tourists, mostly from Japan and East Asia, are hospitalized in Paris with symptoms including anxiety, hallucinations, and depersonalization. The cause? The gap between the Paris they imagined and the Paris they found. Most visitors don't end up in the hospital, but the disappointment is widespread. A 2024 European Travel Commission survey found that Paris had the largest gap between pre-visit expectations and post-visit satisfaction of any major European city. Larger than Rome, larger than Barcelona, larger than London. The complaints are consistent. Aggressive pickpockets at the Eiffel Tower, rude service at restaurants, dirty metro stations, and dog waste on sidewalks. The Mona Lisa experience is the perfect metaphor. You wait 2 hours to spend 30 seconds in front of a painting that's smaller than your laptop screen, protected behind bulletproof glass, while 200 people push against you taking photos. But here's the deeper truth. Paris isn't actually bad. Paris has some of the greatest museums, architecture, and food on the planet. The problem is that Paris has been marketed so aggressively for so long, in movies, in fashion, in literature, that no real city could ever match the fantasy. The world built a version of Paris that doesn't exist, and then 44 million tourists a year show up expecting to find it. That's why Paris is the most overrated tourist destination on Earth. Not because it's bad, but because the dream was always impossible. From Pisa's 15-minute photo op to Paris's impossible dream, these 10 destinations share one thing in common: the gap between expectation and reality. But here's the thing. Every single one of these places has something genuinely worth experiencing. The trick is to go in with the right expectations, skip the tourist traps, and find the parts that the brochures don't show you. Because the best travel experiences are never the ones you planned. They're the ones that surprised you. Which destination on this list surprised you the most? And is there a place you visited that was even more overrated than what we covered? Drop your answer in the comments below. If you want to see which destinations actually live up to the hype, make sure to subscribe. We rank the world every single week.